she wonderful? Isn't Terry absolutely wonderful? You love her as much as I do. That's great. You know, when I first started going to these conventions, I used to sort of prepare a sort of chat to start things off. Before we go around to questions and answers, but I don't do that anymore. I come totally unprepared today because you don't have to. You know? I mean, we're all friends now. We've met each other so often that when you go to meet friends, you don't sort of work out in advance what you're going to say. So we just play it by ear. What I have, and what has astounded me most, this trip, it does every trip, but particularly this trip, is that the whole phenomenon of Beauty and the Beast fans and what it has become. Because although it started from a silly television show, it has produced all kinds of talents amongst people who never knew before they could write or paint or compose poetry or whatever. And all these friendships around the world that it has evolved, but not just that, but the amount of good it's actually done. It's quite, it never ceases to amaze me what wonderful things you people have done. I've got one or two examples here I'd like to tell you about. This, every year I get a letter from Mrs. Wittenbrink, and she is a school teacher in Ohio. I can never get those vowel sounds out from Ohio. And she teaches, she has a limited budget in which to teach the kids in her classes about the danger of drugs. And she has done this now for 3 years, and each year I think has been more and more successful. And she's done a lot of it through showing kids in the forests of the night, and the whole situation with Raleigh and the drug thing. And this has meant so much more to them than all the sort of scholastic academic lessons they've had. And I've had, each year she sent me, that a book containing a letter and a photograph from every child in her class, and explaining what it has meant to them. And I've just received, she gave me one yesterday when I arrived, and this is the latest one, full of letters with the photographs of each kid. I'll give you an example. This is one here from a lad called Bobby Lyons. Lyons, well that's a derivative, like you. My name is Bobby Lyons II. I am 10 years old. My birth date is the 28th of June. I go to Northridge University. I'm Mrs. Wittenberg. I'm in Mrs. Wittenbrink's 5th grade. We were studying drugs, and we watched a movie. We learned about cocaine, crack, alcohol, and other drugs. You will never see me buying drugs, never. I wrote something to help remind, and it goes something like this. This is from a 10-year-old. I pledge to lead a drug-free life. I will say no to alcohol, tobacco, and illegal drugs, and yes, for my own self-worth. I will encourage my friends to join me and to stand up for what is right. I will remain drug-free. We watched Beauty and the Beast in the forest of the night. I think it was great. You are a great actor. Don't laugh. The child has tremendous perception. I am glad Raleigh finally, how do you pronounce it? We pronounce it Raleigh in England. You pronounce it? Raleigh. One English were right. Finally had the courage to stay off drugs. I still don't know why people take drugs. Here is what some of my friends say. It will make me run faster, it will make me smarter. No thanks, he said. You will never catch me with crack, alcohol, or pot, and other drugs. I think it was great how Vincent's father, you, I think that's me, helped Raleigh stay off drugs. If you could come to King's Island on the 3rd of June, you can see the choir sing. Probably hear the gymnastics squad as well. Will you please answer these questions? In the Beauty and the Beast series, how did Beauty die? We're not going to talk about that, are we? And 2, in Suburban Commando, what was it like to work with Hulk Hogan? Well, my dear Robert, Bobby, I will tell you what it wasn't like. It wasn't a bit like she wrote me this letter, which I received yesterday. Dear Roy, since you are going to be at Austin, I thought I'd take a moment to tell you about my friend John, who had hoped to attend as well. I've been closing a flyer I've made up for the flyer table in Austin. It describes a collection of scenes, our dream seekers' breakfast. I was going to say bed and breakfast. It's Beauty and the Beast, sorry. B&B fan club will be spending B&B in England, I'm afraid, is bed and breakfast. Our B&B fan club, yes, will be sitting on our table. The John Dotrice collection. John Dotrice was a young man living in Florida. I never met him, but he was the very first one to order my first scene, Promises to Keep, through the mail back in 1989. And he was so pleased with it and so complimentary to my writing that he became a sort of good luck charm. He bolstered the confidence of a hesitant writer, just starting out. Every time I wrote something new, I'd send John the flyer first, and he always ordered it. In his letters, he was always so cheerful and encouraging. Then this spring, I wrote to him again, and his mother wrote back to tell me that in February, John died of cancer. He never ever mentioned he was sick. Somehow this hit me very hard. I've never ever met John, and now I never would. His mother also wrote to ask me how she might dispose of his extensive Beauty and the Beast collection. She hates to do it, but their medical bills are staggering. She wrote that his family had helped him to buy Beauty and the Beast books and stories. It made him so happy they only wished they could have done more. She said he would have loved to go to Austin, but even if he had lived, he would not have been strong enough. John dreamed our dream, and it gave him some measure of happiness. In his Beauty and the Beast world, he was not sick. No one who came to know him through it knew that he was gravely ill. I think it was perhaps the only place left in his life where he still saw himself as well and strong. I thought I would like to let you know how much pleasure John found in Beauty and the Beast. I know that he identified very strongly with all the characters and probably helped him to endure the pain, because he loved Vincent and Catherine and their ideal of love. Thank you for listening. See you in Austin. I haven't seen Lynette yet, but I'm sure she's here somewhere. Bless you, darling. Anyway, thank you. And I'm just going to read from the flyer, because I do think it's important. You know, we're so lucky in England, really, because we do have this thing called national health. That no matter how poor you are, you don't pay a penny on medical treatment. You know, and it's quite wonderful. And the sooner they get into this country, because I know so many people who have literally worked hard.